Hello YouTube, it's Championdjk coming at you with a video, and we are just going to do a non-traditional unboxing video here because I just got a box from Diecastrum. This came all the way from Romania, and I am super pumped as to what's inside of here, and there was no way I'm going to wait. This was supposed to be my weekly video, and this still might end up being a clip I just throw into the weekly video. I don't know, but I ain't going to wait. I'm going to get right into this. I want to see what is in here. I have no idea what's in here. I'm hoping I can get this open one-handed. Oh gosh, this is a weird box. Alright, so hang on. Okay, there we go. So like I said, this is not going to be a traditional unboxing. I am just standing up here above a card table in my Diecast sanctuary here. By the way, those are sweet for label and stuff. All right, so anyway, let's just get into this thing. This might end up being my weekly video. If this ends up being the weekly video, I'll show all this stuff up close in another segment of the video, which I will film later. I got a bunch of stuff to do tonight, so I'm not going to get to it right now, but I could not hold off on opening up this box. So long story short, I am acting as a hub for Diecastrum, so he's getting stuff shipped to me to save on shipping, and then I am shipping it to him. We are going to attempt to do this one-handed, and we are going to see what is in here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Tomica Limited Vintage LV 130B, which is a Datsun Fairlady 1500. We're not going to open that up right now because you're just not going to be able to see it. I apologize. We're just going to get through the box to start with, and plus we get some cool foreign paper here. Oh man, look at this stuff. Ding 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 ding. Alright, this is interesting. Ford SVT Cobra Maisto. We don't get this Maisto design stuff like hardly at all anywhere. All we get is like the haulers. So this is pretty cool. This is a cool looking Mustang, so check that out. I'm just going to set that down here. Again, totally unprepared for this unboxing. Like I said, there's just no way I could let this thing sit. I'm like a little kid. Like I was like the kid that got up at like 4 in the morning on Christmas, and just wait and try to wake up everybody in the house so that we could open up presents. So anyway, this is a cool one. We've got a Toyota. What is it? See if we can focus on that. Pro Box. That's an interesting Tomica Basic. Pretty cool. Let's set that down. Let's see what we got here. This has got to be a Majorette. Okay. Majorette Porsche. Politia. It's a pretty neat little Majorette. So by the way, check out Diecastrum's YouTube channel. He recently just started a channel. Here is a Siku Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport, the Roadster version. That is pretty sweet. Really cool. I have a Siku Bugatti. You know what? I actually think I might have this. I think it's the only Bugatti I've got. If that is, that's a double, and that is all right though, because someone else, I'll definitely pay it forward if it is a double. Ooh boy. Tomica Limited Vintage LV53B, the Nissan Yanni. Pretty awesome. Look at that thing. Well, you can't look at it because we're not going to take it out of the box. I can only assume that's actually what's in the box. So we'll find out in either another segment of this video, or it will be the weekly video. This will be the weekly video, I think, now that I'm going through this, because there's definitely enough material for it. And I don't think I'm going to be getting much else this week. So we'll just throw an intro in front of this and make this the video. Another Tomica Basic. It's a Subaru. Is it a Subaru? Wait a minute. No, it's a Toyota. Toyota Harrier. Interesting. Tomica Basic. opening feature. My Tomica Basic collection is getting large, actually, which is cool because I wasn't really into them, and now I like them. Oh my goodness! Like seriously, this is another Tomica Limited Vintage Neo LVN 118A, the Nissan Leopard Ultima. Oh, that is cool. That's crazy, man. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, do you have a source where you're getting these like cheaper than normal? Because this is kind of sickening here. LVN03A, Nissan Leopard TRX, another Tomica Limited Vintage. Okay, that's 4 TLVs, which, oh boy. Tomica Limited Vintage LV07B, Prince Skyline 1500. Man, this one's coming open, so it's just like begging for me to do this one-handed. It's an older style box. This is an older one. Still got suspension. Metal body, metal base. Pretty awesome, guys. So, yeah, my Tomica Limited Vintage collection is also getting there and getting up in the numbers. And now, I mean, with this added to it. Are you kidding? Tomica Limited Vintage LV03G. Toyopet Crown. Look at that. Another Tomica Limited Vintage. That is now 6 TLVs in this box. This is absolutely crazy, dude. Like, it's pretty unnecessary, to be honest. Like, I don't mind doing the hub thing. Yeah, it's a little bit of extra work for me to have to do that, pack it up and do all that stuff, make sure the mail gets here, all that stuff. But it's really not, like, you know, it doesn't deserve a payment like this. This is a little too crazy. Look at this, Jetta. What is this? I think I've seen these before. Are these 1/64 scale? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to find out when I actually open up this thing and take a peek at it. I'm definitely intrigued by this one. That looks pretty cool. We got another Tomica Basic in here. If I can get it open with one hand. Hyper Rescue. Look at this thing. HRO2. Yeah, it's a van. It's a Toyota. Cool. Looks like it's got an opening. I don't know if that door slides or not, but we'll explore that in a future segment. And I think I know what one of these is. Anyway, yeah, definitely check out his YouTube channel, because he's got, you can tell by what he's giving me that you gotta be kidding me. Are you kidding me? You have got to be kidding me. Alright, I knew that this was coming. He showed this to me. So this one's not a surprise. The surprise is that. Are you joking? Is this a joke? Is this car seriously inside of here? Is this car seriously? Oh my god, it is. Alright, so if you know anything about Tomica Limited Vintage Ferraris, they're expensive. If you know anything about Tomica Limited Vintage Ferraris in yellow, they're extra expensive. This is, I don't know. This is absolute insanity, bro. Like, absolute insanity. Whatever. Whatever. I don't even know what to say. Like, this piece, honestly, is like, just this alone is really payment enough for me to just order some stuff for you and ship it to you, whatever, have stuff come to my house. That's like, seriously, this by itself would do. This is like, I mean, I'm super grateful, but that is very much overkill. And then the other Tomoko Limited Vintage, and we're not done. There's 2 more pieces in this box. Oh my god. And a Kyosho to boot. AMG. Mercedes. Which one is it going to be? Which one do we think it is? Let's go ahead and... G-Wagen. Okay, this is on my wish list. And now I have one. Okay, that is absolutely ridiculous. We are going to go ahead and turn the camera on and look at some of this stuff close up and talk about more about how crazy this is. Lately, I've been just getting, for lack of a better term, just like blessed, I suppose, with insane boxes of goodies. And like each one has been just absolutely insane. I got the Andrew Jaremko one, which was just awesome, and then the Tor Baki one, which was absolutely amazing as well. And now this one, which is also just ridiculous. So let's go ahead and flip the camera around, take a look at some of this stuff close up. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, so that box is absolutely insane. We're going to take a look at some of the stuff close up. Well, most of the stuff closed up for sure. First thing we're going to start with is this piece right here, this Miho Exclusives for GT40 Ultra Red. This one is definitely cool. It's Ultra Red. It's got just Ultra Red body and Ultra Red rims, which is kind of fantastic. I'm not going to open up this one in this video. Sorry about that. That's going to be a Free the Piece Friday special for sure. So again, thank you so much, Diecastrum, for hooking me up with just, I don't know, basically an unbelievable box. Just an unbelievable box of stuff. If you go back and look at some of Travis Heavy Metal 164 videos, you can see some of the boxes that he had sent Travis as well, and it's just insanity. So anyway, this thing is sweet. I can't wait to free the piece on this one, so stay tuned for that. Next, let's just get this out of the way right away too. Here it is, the Tomoko Limited Vintage Neo 512TR in yellow. So the more common release, I guess you could say, is this one right here. This is the red Ferrari. Definitely the best color for a Ferrari is red, but they've also released a couple of them in yellow, and they're limited. They're a lot more limited, apparently, than the red ones. Now, I don't know. They never produce production numbers, I don't believe, for TLV, so I don't know exactly how much more rare they are, but I know there's a lot less of them. So the F40, the Ferrari F40 is one that they did it with, and the 512TR is one that they've done it with. And I don't have the F40. That is definitely on my wish list, and so was this car. Truth be told, I don't think I'd ever really get this in my possession because the prices on these things are just insane. So you can imagine why I was very, very surprised to see this in the box. It's just really, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just crazy. Absolute insanity. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this car carefully out of its little cradle here in the box. We're going to set it down ever so gently. We are going to put the box back together. This now is going to go into a little carny case where I've got a bunch of my Tomoko Limited Vintages, and that's where it will sit on display for a while. And where I will sit and look at it and wonder at the beauty that is Tomoko Limited Vintage. So this thing's absolutely fantastic. It just is. If you go back and watch the video where I showed these when they first came out, you guys know I'm head over heels for the Testarossa. this is basically a second generation Testarossa, and the amount of detail on this piece is absolutely ridiculous. The price is a little crazy on these, for sure. But I pre-ordered the red ones because that was available to me to pre-order. And then to get the yellow one from where I'm at, you basically would have to get one off of eBay, likely from Japan Booster. Probably be the most reasonably priced one. This one probably won't be as expensive as the Ferrari F40, but it is definitely not a cheap car. So thank you again. I cannot believe that this was actually in there. That is, I don't know, crazy. All right, so next one let's take a look at before we look at the rest of the Tomica Limited Vintage, because we have 6 other Tomica Limited Vintage pieces to take a look at. This is a Siku. It's a Siku Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport. I actually already had this one. Surprisingly enough, I've had it for actually quite a while. I actually got this from Friesen's Diecast, who, I don't know what ended up happening to that guy. He was on YouTube for a while making videos, and all of a sudden kind of disappeared from YouTube, and just haven't seen him in a while. Funny thing is, I still kind of have like a little box aside for him. I never got to send anything back to him. I had gotten a bunch of stuff for him, and then eventually he ended up messaging me saying he got a bunch of the stuff that I had for him. So a box never really materialized going his direction, and then he kind of fell off the map. So if you're out there, buddy, shoot me a message, let me know you're still around. But this piece is kind of cool. It's definitely not the auto art model, not as cool as that, but it is kind of neat, and it's in an interesting scale, I think. What scale is it? I think it still says like it's 1/64 scale, but it's clearly larger than 1/64 scale. These Sikus are built very rugged, very high quality, and they're really kind of more as toys, but Siku has a pretty cool and interesting catalog. So that's a pretty cool piece. All right, so thank you again for that. Let's take a look at these Tomica Basics really quick, or actually this is a Majorette to start with. Majorette Porsche police car. It's kind of cool. A little different. This one's got a little bit of play wear on it, but no worries whatsoever. And Porsche Panamera, 1/64 scale, made in Thailand. It's got the opening doors. It's got lens detail up front. It's kind of an odd one. It's kind of cool. So there's that, and then we'll take a look at, we got a couple of Tomica Basics, some interesting ones. This is a Toyota Harrier. These feature an opening rear hatch, and overall just kind of an interesting little piece. Kind of cool. So there's that for a Tomica Basic. I don't know when this one came out. Copyright date is 2004 though. And then we've got some interesting like van type things. This is a Toyota Pro Box. Copyright date 2002, so this casting's been out for a while. Again, this has an opening rear hatch. And the Coca-Cola Company. That's kind of interesting. Standard Tomica button wheels. Kind of a cool little van. This thing rolls like crazy. This thing would be quick downhill. And then this interesting van, Hyper Rescue. This is a Toyota Alphard. Alphard? It's in 1/65 scale. This one has an opening, I don't know if this door slides. Yes, it does. A sliding door. One sliding door. Kind of an interesting and oddball little Tomica Basic. This one's got chrome bumper area. It's got an extra plastic piece on top, and then of course it's got the sliding door. Hyper Rescue. This one does not have suspension. Most Tomica models do. This one does not. And then next one we're going to take a look at is this one. This was kind of interesting to see in the box. This is 1993 Ford SVT Cobra from Maisto Design Muscle. Interesting piece. We don't get really Maisto design. It's been very sporadic. Occasionally you would see it at like Hobby Lobby. And then they kind of went away, and then they kind of appeared again. Now we're getting some of the castings we're getting in like a sort of like a Team Transport kind of style in Walmarts, and some of them are pretty cool. The castings are definitely interesting. So this one is a Ford Mustang Cobra. It's got an opening hood. Generally, they're pretty nicely made. They definitely have some exaggerated features. They're not made to look stock, so they got kind of a Hot Wheels feel to them. Plastic base, they're generally screwed together. They generally have rubber tires, and they generally have a metal body, and sometimes they have an opening hood, sometimes not. They also kind of tend to run, I think, a little bit bigger than 1/64 scale. So nice finish on it though. Nice matte black. Some flamage. That's pretty cool. This will go in my very limited Maisto design or whatever collection. I've got a few of these cars and they're all actually really cool. Alright, next up let's take a look at, let's do a Kyosho. Let's do a Kyosho. We're going to do the TLVs last, so if you want to, if you must, and that's all you want to see, you can skip ahead, but this G-Wagen is pretty cool. So, G55 AMG was available in silver, black, and white, and we get the white version right here. This is a very cool Kyosho casting. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew it from the base. I'm going to set this stuff aside real quick and take a look. All right. Very nicely done, as you would expect from Kyosho. Paint looks good on it. I don't see any issues. Again, with Kyosho, of course, you're going to get metal body, plastic base. This base has quite a bit of detail on it, which is not always the case with Kyosho. This one is riveted, which is also not always the case with Kyosho. A lot of the times they are actually screwed together. It's got nice soft rubber tires, prototypical wheels. It's got lensed inserts for headlights. It's got the spare on the back, which looks nice. It's got little tiny lens details for the taillights as well. And altogether, a very, very nice looking diecast car replica. Now, this is definitely one that you could take some pictures of strategically and likely make it look very much like a real car with the right kind of background and stuff like that, or even it just like the way I shoot my photos, because I don't have a diorama or anything like that, but just on like a black background or a plain background, you can get this thing to sort of make you double take, I'm sure. Just wondering, was that a real car, or at the very minimum a larger scale model, not 1/64 scale? At the very minimum, you would think, oh my goodness, this thing is, you know, a 1/18 scale, or who knows. It just, there's so much detail in here that it can give that impression. So very, very nice Kyosho. I'm very, very thankful to have that. Thank you very, very much. All right, next we're going to take a look at this real quick, and this is the last piece we got before we're going to take a look at 6 Tomica Limited vintages. This is Jetta, just the Jetta. Doesn't say Volkswagen on here anywhere. It doesn't appear to be licensed by Volkswagen at all, which is somewhat interesting. It's made in China. I don't know much about this brand of diecast. I did sense filming, because I actually filmed the front half of this video a bunch of days ago, when I first received the box. It was last Friday. So, and today actually I'm filming this. It's Tuesday. This video is going to release on Saturday, yada, yada, yada. Not like that makes a difference to you, but my point is I filmed this a few days ago, the first half of this video. And this half, so before this I got a chance to kind of look at this car, and I got a chance to kind of find out what it is. So I looked up X-Car Toys online, and you can definitely find them on there, and then you look at the catalog of cars that they've got. Not a very impressive catalog for right now, and most of the vehicles are just vehicles I would have no interest in really getting, aside from this car right here. Looks like they're fairly inexpensive though, and they're quite detailed. You get lens inserts for headlights, you get lens inserts for taillights, you got Jetta on there, you do have a Volkswagen logo here. Nothing on this actually says Volkswagen, which is fairly interesting. The side mirrors leave a little bit to be desired. They're kind of just afterthought pieces of metal that are kind of sticking out on the side there. The paint's nice though. It's a nice pearl white. The wheels and tires are pretty nice. It's got suspension. And I think though it is definitely larger than 1/64 scale. Even though they're published as 1/64 scale, I think this is a little bit bigger than 1/64. And actually, it's got to be bigger than 1/64. If the Kyosho is anywhere close to being what the size of this Mercedes is, I don't think a Jetta is longer than a G-Wagon. So, maybe I'm 100% wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. So, as you can see, definitely bigger than 1/64. So when you start comparing it to other things, but very detailed and very interesting piece. I definitely like it. If they were to come up with some more cars that I think I would be into, I definitely would pick them up. So because they are pretty detailed and nice looking cars, and just interesting to get like an off brand, a different brand. All right, so these are going to be in no particular order. We're going to go ahead and do the Tomica Limited Vintage now. This is LV07B, so an early Tomica casting. I did pull this one out sort of in the front half of the video. This is a Prince Skyline 1500 in red. And this is actually a very, very nice looking piece. So the older Kyoshos were packaged like this. Not in the way they're doing it now with the kind of like the full bubble. This still holds it nice in the box though, and doesn't allow it to rub it all on the cardboard, which really maintains it. Interestingly too, I wonder if I can find, okay, so this is copyright date on this thing is 2004. I don't, I should probably learn a bit more about when Tomica Limited Vintage actually started producing vehicles. But if this copyright date is 2004, I'm guessing that's going to be kind of closest to when this came out, since this is, an LV07, so this would be the 7th tooling essentially in the B version or B color of it. So that's how you can kind of identify tooling numbers. Paint looks pretty nice on it. The wheels look really good. It does have suspension. It's got very nicely detailed, headlights. A little bit of chrome over on the headlight there, but nothing major. And the taillights look absolutely awesome. Lots of detail in there. You can tell this is an earlier TLV2 just because it doesn't have the kind of signature blank white license plate, which most modern TLVs will have. Plus a lot of plastic chrome. I don't think a lot of TLVs or later TLVs had a lot of actual like chrome plastic. Mostly it was painted silver, except for the new Mitsubishi Pajero. I love the wheels on it though. The wheels look absolutely spectacular. So fantastic little car. Thank you very, very much for all of these Tomica Limited Vintage. I mean, giving Tomica Limited Vintage is something that's pretty much the best gift in diecast you could possibly give somebody. Tomica Limited Vintage LV53B, so a later model. This is a Nissan Laurel. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. So you can see this one's coming in the more modern packaging here. That kind of bubble, which is a very excellent way to package a car. Really does protect it. I'll go ahead and close the box here. Very, very cool. Front end looks great. Headlights look great. Again, this is what I'm talking about with the bumper. It's painted silver. It's not chromed. It's got the white license plates. It's got inserted detail for headlights and taillights. And the paint on it is absolutely beautiful. It is this really nice looking gold, kind of metallic color, gold poly. And it just looks absolutely fantastic. Of course, this one does have suspension. The wheels are going to be prototypical. We can take a look at the copyright date on the base, maybe. 2006 is the copyright date on the base of this car. So that's probably when the version A of the tooling probably would have came out, somewhere in 2007. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea when it came out. You really can't tell, though. I'm going to look at the packaging to see. Well, 2007 is the copyright date of the packaging. So maybe this came out in 2008. Maybe it came out in 2007. I couldn't tell you. If you do want to look at a great database for these Tomica Limited vintage cars, definitely check out Japan Booster in the gallery. I don't know if they have it by dates, but if they do, that'd be one to look at for sure. Really cool piece though. I love it. The interior is really nice on this too. It's a two-tone interior. It's kind of like blue, like a baby blue with more of like a brown leatherish color on the outside of the seats. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that in here. You can kind of see it through the windows here because they have very clear glass. But anyway, it's super good, super nice. All right, next up we got this one here. This is LV130B, and this is a LV130B Datsun Fairlady 1500. And this too is a very, very nice piece. Yes, I did already take all of these out, and I did already look at them, of course. So this one's interesting to the fact that they give you the choice of whether or not to make it a convertible or a hardtop. And I think we're going to make that decision right now because here's the little pieces. We'll see what it looks like both ways. This is taped together, so this has been opened already. I'm not breaking the seal on it. Alright, so first let's do hardtop. Just got two little pegs that this thing goes into. Then it kind of snaps into place. Now, I want to be careful with it, so I'm not going to push it in too far right now because I'm afraid of it snapping in and then having a hard time getting it back out. But there's what the rag top would look like. Not a hard top, rag top. And then, but I think I'm going to keep it as a convertible, to be honest. I'd like to do it as a convertible. So we're going to put down, or with the top down, I should say. Not convertible or non-convertible. Top up or down. We're going to do top down, if I can get this piece in to where it belongs. There it is. Yeah, that's how it's going to display for me. The top down. Because that's how you would cruise in this car unless it was raining. So there it is, Datsun. You got the details. The details up front look absolutely gorgeous. Details in the back look really quite fantastic as well, including I think that's a fuel filler cap right there. And then, of course, it's got suspension. We can look at the date on the bottom. Should we do that? Looks like 2012 is the copyright date for the casting. This is version B of the casting, so I can't tell you exactly when this one came out. But that'll give you some idea. Sometimes the version A's and the version B's come out simultaneously, which I don't know if that was the case for this one or not. But very, very cool piece. And yeah, we got 3 more to go, so let's keep going. This next one is LVN, so that's Limited Vintage Neo 118A. So it's a different numbering system, by the way, for the LVN versus the LVs. Nissan Leopard Ultima. So we find a copyright date on this real quick, if we can. Of course, I can't see it on here. The other ones, it was kind of easy to find. This one, I don't really see it. All right, let's go ahead and just pop this thing out. We know it's going to be a later release because it's 118. So you can kind of gauge it by that. It is the version A, so this would have been likely the first release of this tooling. This is actually the second version of this car I have. I have another one in a different color. This one does come with another separate piece. It comes with this little piece for the bottom there, which this one is still on its little thing. I'm not going to snap it off of here, and I'm not going to install it. This would be a very easy piece to install with a little dab of glue. But we are going to skip it on this one because I'm just not going to do it. I don't think it's all that necessary to do it. This casting still looks really, really good as is. And this Nissan Leopard is a really nice casting. This one's nice and basic. You got just white. You still get the lens details, of course. Very, very small printing and stuff in here. For the taillights, the headlights really make this thing. Look at that. Look at the detail in the headlights. I'm trying to hold it as still as possible here. That is so nice. And then, of course, the other details you would expect from Tomica. Limited vintage, such as suspension, prototypical wheels, soft rubber tires that roll really fantastically. Yeah, I mean, the more you get into the Tomica limited vintage stuff, the more you just realize each one of these is just like a little gem. Just beautiful. So, yeah, sometimes they don't do the most exciting cars, but I love these little square 80s style cars. I think they're awesome. All right. Next up, we got another older one. This is LV03 version G. So they must have put this out in a lot of colors. This is the Toyopec Crown. And copyright date on the box, can we see it? 2004 on this one. I'm interested to see, so this is the third tooling, we're going to guess. God, this thing is actually so awesome. It actually looks, one of those where it actually looks way better than it does on the box. The color of this is fantastic. I love this color. It looks so good. And this car just looks so great. There you go. You do get the chrome. See, chrome stuff for the bumper. Chrome in the back. Nice lens detail. You do have the blank license plate on this one. On the front, anyway. Copyright date on the casting was 2003. I don't know, is this... I think the base... I don't know. Yeah, the base of this is plastic, actually. Was it plastic on the other older one? Nope, it's metal on the other one. So it was actually plastic on this piece. That's interesting. Doesn't really hurt how cool it looks, though, because this thing looks absolutely awesome. No suspension on this one either. So this is an early model. As you can see, they did develop over time as they started moving on here. And but this piece is really cool. I just really love the color of it. I don't know if the camera's going to do this justice, but the color of this car is just, I don't know, it's great. It's just a really nice looking blue. I love it. All right, so we got to move on. This video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but that is okay because this box definitely deserves a long video. So here is LVN03A. So this is the third Tomica Limited Vintage Neo casting, which they started doing the Neo stuff, I think, quite a bit after. So this is the Nissan Leopard TRX. Quite a while after they started doing the standard limited vintage stuff. This, because this has a newer style box, and I'm trying to look for a copyright date on the actual box, which I guess we really don't have to. This is the A version of the casting, so it was likely the first one to come out. Copyright date is 2006, so I guess not well after, but somewhat after. And yeah, this thing is super cool. So this thing has a plastic top. which means likely there's a convertible version, and I'm guessing that is the LVN04 Nissan Leopard. That's my guess, unless there's a different, I don't know, top version, but this top of this car is definitely plastic. You can't remove it or anything like that. It's just, it is plastic. It's white, so they probably didn't have a hard time matching color. The wheels on this car is what really makes it. The wheels are really cool looking. And then the details, of course, there's nothing skipped there either. You've got beautiful looking front end here with the lensed headlights. And, of course, lens inserts for taillights as well. Just a cool piece, and another really cool Tomica Limited Vintage to add to my Tomica Limited Vintage collection, which has just grown by 7 pieces, which includes that Ferrari. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. A long weekly video, a non-traditional weekly video. We didn't do it in the normal format, so hopefully you kind of enjoyed that change up a little bit. Of course, this is my favorite piece. It's impossible for it not to be. But all of these TLVs are just absolute fantastic additions to my Tomica collection, which is growing and will continue to grow because they're just so neat. But, oh man, hard to argue with that. There's going to be more Ferraris coming too, and I've got them pretty much all on pre-order because that's the way to do it. Out of these other older Tomica Limited Vintages, I think this one might be my favorite. I just really like the color of it. I think second might be this one here, actually. I like the rims in that one. This one just looks absolutely fantastic, too. This one looks fantastic. They all look fantastic. This is actually a really sweet piece, too. Super cool. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I won't hold you any longer. Thanks for watching another weekly video. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it so much, buddy. Just don't know what to say about that. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.